So going back to the sign-in screen, so here we need now to import the common text field. So the first one here, the hint text for the first one is going to be enter email. Like that. The text input type is going to be text input type dot email address, and the controller we are going to create it just now. So inside the state class, we're going to create the email editing controller. Also, we need to do the same for the password controller. Password. So for the controller here, I'm going to set the email controller. And again, what we need to do here, we need to override the dispose method, and we need to dispose these controllers. Dot dispose. Also the password controller dot dispose. Like that. So as you can see now, we have the email. So we need to do the same for the first word. And we need to add a sized box here and give it a height of 10, like that. So this one is going to be enter password. This is going to be just normal, the default one, and we are going to set the obscure text to true. So I'm going to also add the sized box again here. This time I'm going to give it a height of 15. I'm going to create a checkbox here whose functionality I'm not going to implement in this tutorial, but once I implement this application to the fullest, I'm going to add the functionality for it as well. So I'll just go to add a row for now. So a row has children. So the first child is the checkbox. So what I need to do is that at the top here, I'm going to create a Boolean variable. I'm going to call it bool is checked. I'm going to give it a value of false. So inside here, so this value is going to be the value of is checked. And then the onChange gives us a callback that gives us a nullable Boolean variable called value. And inside it, when we can call set state, since we are inside of a stateful widget, and then we can set the value of is checked to that of the value, and we can use the assertion operator here. After that checkbox, I can add a text here and give it a style of app styles dot normal text style, and I use test style instead of normal text style. I'm going to navigate there right now. It should be text style, not test style. So let me refactor this. I'm going to rename it to normal text style. Okay. So we have that. So once I have that, outside of the row, I can create another sized box. This sized box, I'm going to give it a height of 25. And then I can create a container. So this container is going to have a decoration of box decoration. So I'm going to give it a color of colors.orange, like that. And I'm going to give it a border radius of border radius dot circular 20.0. Need to give it a height and the height that I'm going to give it is size config dot get proportionate height to 50. I'm also going to give it a width of size config dot screen width. Click on save. As you can see, now we have that. We need to add now the text, which we can add a child for that. And the text will have a text of sign me in. In the style that we are going to use is app style dot normal text style dot copy width. So we are going to give it a color of white, colors dot white. So there it is. So to ensure that it is centered, we have to come to the container and add the property of alignment alignment.center. So since we are going to need this container to act as a button, I'm going to wrap it inside of another widget called inkwell. So this inkwell is going to provide us with an onTap method. So this onTap is what we are going to use to implement the login functionality. So what we want to implement next is the OR here, and then we are going to create the buttons here for Google, Apple, and Facebook. So to do that, after the inkwell, I'm going to add the sized box and I'm going to give it a height of 10. And after that, I'm going to create a row with children. So first one is going to be a container, which I'm going to give a height of size config dot get proportionate height of 1. I'm going to give it a width of size config dot screen width, multiply it by 0.4. Okay, and I'm going to give it a decoration of box decoration, give it a color of colors.gray. So we get this gray line here. I'm going to then create another text here which says or style app styles dot normal text style, and here we can create a sized box with a width of 5, just to give a little spacing between this container and this text. And then I can add another container, that, and another sized box in there between to create that. So inside the row, we can add the main axis alignment of center. I'm going to add another sized box, and in there I'm going to add a row with children. So the first child is a container which has a height of size config dot get proportionate height of 40. It has a width of size config dot screen width, which I'm gonna multiply by 0.25, like that. I'm going to align everything in that container to center, and then I'm going to add a decoration, box decoration. I'm going to add a border radius dot circular 10. I'm going to add a border of border.on, color.black, colors.black, style, border style.solid, and I'm going to give it a width of 2. So for the child of this container, I'm going to use a font awesome icon. So for that, I'm going to add, it's font awesome Flutter, not font awesome icon. It's font awesome Flutter. So that package has been installed. So for the child, going to be font icon, font awesome icons .google, like that. I'm giving a color of colors.red. So I'm going to copy this container and paste it 2 more times. So the second one is going to be for Apple, and the last one is going to be for Facebook, like that. Okay, like that. So I'm going to change for Facebook to blue. For Apple, I'm going to change it to black. So this column, this row, I'm going to change the main axis alignment to space evenly. So that should spread them out like that. So finally, we are going to add a size box here. And actually this container, I may have created it inside of inside the widgets here and just reused it, but I'm just going to leave it like this for now. I'm going to copy this. So outside this row, I'm going to add another sized box here, and I'm going to give it a height of say 40. And now here I'm going to create a text. Actually, I'm going to create a row with the children. So the first child is text, which says don't have an account, and a style of normal text style. So I'm just going to copy this text and paste it down here. So this one is going just to say register. So this is going to be normal text style dot copy width to add the extra functionalities. So I'm going to change the color to colors.green, like that. Okay, so inside this row, what we can do is that we can align them to in center. So main axis alignment.center to ensure that they are centered like that. Okay, so what we need to do is that this text, the register text, need to be clickable, and to do that we can wrap it in a widget called gesture detector, and this gesture detector gives us an on tap method. So this on tap, I can use it to call context.goNamed. So since we have Go router, this is made possible by Go router. So what we need to do is that we need to go to the app routes. We want to go to the register.name, like that. So by clicking on this register, it's going to take us to the registration page. All right, and that was basically the login page. Of course, there are still functionality that we need to do, but before that, let us create the registration screen. So basically what I'm going to do is that I'm going to copy all this code here, open the register screen, and I'm going to paste it inside here, like that. So it's also possible to use one screen for both registration and signing, which is perfectly okay. You can do that as well. Actually, I think that will be a better option than this one here, but yeah, I'm going to do this for this tutorial, but in future videos I shall be sure to separate them accordingly. So for this config, I'm just going to import that to remove those errors. This should say create your account, and I'm going to import this as well. I'm going to import the common text field. Down here, I'm going to import the font I own or some Flutter like that, and I'm also going to import Go Router here and the app routes. Something that I need to change is this text. So this one should say sign in. So once we click on this, we need to go to the sign in like that, and this should say already have an account. Already have an account, sign in. So this button should not say sign me in, it should say sign up. Oh, here it is. This should say register me now. Okay, so let me try to click on this register. As you can see, now we're directed to this page that says register me now and everything else here.